Paper flowers, I see. Keep up the good work. The decor is splendid.
Rengoku, I didn't know you'd be here for the Valentine's Day party.
In times such as these, teamwork and socialization builds rapport. And that's something we'll need for the trials ahead. I wouldn't miss it.
I'm happy to see you.
Likewise. It's always a treat to be in your presence. Ah, Shinobu-san. Lovely to see you again.
My dear Flame Hashira, I thought you'd be out on assignment for a few more days at least.
I was extra diligent to make sure I'd be back in time for the festivities.
Simply incredible. Your feats of courage never fail to impress me. Did you just get in?
Moments ago.
Well, it's good to have you back. Take care to visit Aoi and the other caretakers. They worried about you dearly.
I'll be sure to head there straight away.
That's assuming they haven't already heard you coming.
Ha! How true! I have been described as boisterous before. Your bright sense of humor is rejuvenating to me after my long journey. That's part of why I missed you so much.
You did? You missed me? But of course he did. And why wouldn't he? You two have grown very close as of late. And that leads me to ask, what special plans do you have for the day, Rengoku-san?
I plan on writing letters to my father and brother.
For Valentine's Day?
Yes. I want them to know that I've arrived home safely. And Valentine's Day is a day of love, correct?
Well, I suppose you're not wrong about that.
Then why are you making that face?
So close. What Traveler is trying to say is that Valentine's Day tends to have a more romantic cultural focus nowadays. Familial love can be shown today, but that tends to be the center focus of the winter holidays. Young Agatsuma-san has the right spirit, though his execution could use some work. He's been gifting flowers to all the girls in the butterfly estate. It would be a darling gesture, were it not for his ulterior motives.
Ulterior motives?
He's trying to find a wife, you see. Quite indiscriminately, I might add.
Ah, deplorable.
Indeed.
So, Traveler, you were expecting a romantic gesture from me today, is that right?
Huh? Easy, Rengoku-san. Don't embarrass the poor thing.
It seems I have failed you then.
Oh no, I wasn't expecting anything, really. I'm just glad you're home safe.
Selfless, as always. But I shan't disappoint you. I suppose I don't have a full understanding of what today is about. Allow me to enlighten myself.
Library is down the hall to the left, as I'm sure you remember.
I'll get to it then. Please excuse me.
Okay. See you later then. Traveler, before you leave as well, I should warn you about something. Warn me? Of what? A few girls here have been planning to see who can win Rengoku-san over with the tastiest treat. I figured I ought to let you know. A competition? Yes. As I'm sure you're well aware, his distinguished career and charming personality has made him an ideal marriage candidate in the eyes of many lately. Better not miss your chance. But how can I know what he— Good luck! I know how to cook some, but I'm no great chef. How am I supposed to compete with these other girls? Guess I should go to the kitchen. Oh goodness! Owie, don't lift it like that! I'm being careful. Calm down. Hey, I was using that. You don't need it. Your chocolate is burning. Ah! That's intimidating. As I suspected, they're mostly making sweets. That many will give Rengoku a stomach ache. He'd never say no and risk hurting their feelings, so I'm sure he'll eat it all in one sitting. If that's the case, I should really make him something more hearty, and with some kind of digestive aid. Maybe some hot miso soup? Yeah, and with some fresh fresh ginger. That'll make him feel better. Guess I should use the outdoor fire pit. It looks pretty hectic in there. Okay, so the dumplings are steaming nicely. Rice could use a bit more time. I should take the potatoes off the heat for a few minutes. Those are the most important. I remember Mitsuri offered to prepare Rengoku's favorite meal after he defeated the flute demon. She said she cooked more sweet potatoes than she had in her entire life. The other girls probably all know that too, though. But even if they do, I still have to try. Oh crap, I forgot the oven mitts in the kitchen. The chocolate is bubbling too much! Turn the burner down! You're gonna set the place on fire! Do you need help? All right, settle down, girls. Mitsuri, you're baking too? Mm-hmm. Of course. I'm making sweets for my darling Obanai. And I'm baking it with love. My style comes from the flame-breathing technique, so it's hot enough for me to cook with. Fascinating. And since Kaburamaru can't have sweets, I have something more nutritious prepared. In this container? Oh my, that's a dead mouse! But of course! Kaburamaru is a snake, and Obanai's companion. I wish it were me wrapped around his neck all day. That's sweet. Oh, by the way, would you help me cook with your breathing type? I'm sure it'll taste better if it's made with love. I'd be happy to. Thank you. It's this way. I'm using the fire pit outside. Smells scrumptious. It's steamed dumplings, rice, miso soup, and a big side of sweet potatoes. Ooh! Are you making it for someone special? Well, yes, you got me. How precious! I'm so happy for you! When's the big day? We're not engaged or anything. Phooey. So, as I was saying, I need you to help cast some love on the sweet potatoes. They're in this great big pot right here. My dear traveler, it's clear that those are infused with so much love already that my technique wouldn't do a thing to help them. Huh? Really? How can you tell? By your flustered face. What? Toodles! Wait! What about the miso? Is there enough love in the miso? Come back! Mitsuri! Huh. Well, it looks like the potatoes and rice are almost done. I better take them off the heat. Traveler-chan! Huh? Oh, hello, Zenitsu-kun. I have something for you. Really? A flower. A thing of beauty for a lady of beauty. Oh, I guess it's my turn, huh? What? I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. You're the only one for me, Traveler-chan. I wouldn't dream of courting anyone else but my future wife. Of course not. Perish the thought. How silly of me to think otherwise. What are you doing? Cooking? I'm making something to celebrate Rengoku's return. It's too chilly to be cooking out here. Why don't you do it in the kitchen? It's a bit full at the moment. Oh. I see. Do you want my haori? No need. Thank you, Zenitsu-kun. Oh, it looks like the dumplings are done. Do you want to sample them and see if they're any good? Would I? Careful, they're hot. Are you expecting me to feed you? You're impossible. Sorry. I can do it myself. It's delicious, Traveler-chan. It's good? Is it made with love? Apparently. Well then, you don't have to hide your secrets from me, Traveler-chan. You really made this for me, didn't you?
No. Sorry, Zenitsu-kun.
Oh well. I still have time to win you over. Don't forget about me next month, okay? I'll keep you in mind. See you later, Traveler-chan.
Bye.
Now, gotta get this all together and over to Rengoku somehow. This took me a while to make. I wonder if the other girls already—
Tasty!
Oh no! I better hurry and get over there.
Tasty!
I got a louder tasty than you. That means he liked mine better.
Now, ladies, don't fret. They were both delicious and worthy of praise. Tasty!
Wait! If you eat them too fast, you'll get a stomachache. I knew this would happen.
Ah, Traveler! What were you up to this afternoon? I was reading up on Valentine's Day traditions. Tasty! Tasty!
This?
You made me something too?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have. But I'm glad you did.
It might not go with chocolate, but at least it spares you from having to make dinner after your long journey.
I smell sweet potatoes. My favorite.
Yeah. But they probably won't taste as good after having chocolate.
Tasty!
Wow.
Ah, now that the meal is over, allow me to convey my sincerest gratitude. Thank you!
You don't have to bow like that.
Of course I do. Traveler, do you mind if we speak alone for a bit?
Oh, sure.
Please excuse me, ladies. Thanks again for your generosity.
Where are we going?
The gardens.
Okay. Sounds lovely.
Almost as lovely as the scrumptious gifts I was given.
Your stomach hurts from all the sweets, doesn't it?
Just terribly. But I can manage it. Surely it would be much worse were it not for your delicious meal.
Well, that's good to hear. So what did you want to talk about?
While I was in the library, I came across some interesting traditions for Valentine's Day.
You mean the chocolate exchange?
That I find fascinating as well. But that's not the one I mean. Apparently, in some of the more rural villages, they only heard rumors of how the holiday was celebrated. So they developed their own unique tradition.
And what's that?
Exactly what I brought you here to show you.
The arbor. Are you sure we're allowed? Shinobu's really strict about her plants, since she loves her butterflies so much.
I got her special permission for this.
What's that?
The tradition.
It's a sapling?
Shinobu-san was kind enough to let me have this.
What's it for?
Come with me. In the village I mentioned before, young betrothed couples would plant a tree together on Valentine's Day, just before the spring, as a symbol of their commitment to each other. It's a beautiful thing, I think, to watch something grow alongside your relationship.
That's a sweet tradition. But I have to ask, what happened to the couples who had to endure a longer winter?
Ah, I wondered that as well. Apparently the two would do their best to nourish it day by day, and keep the sapling alive.
That's good for building teamwork early on, I imagine. I like that tradition.
Yes, and wonderful practice for children.
Children?
I didn't realize the implications of this practice until now.
Wait, so you want to plant one with me?
Of course. Imagine, when times are rough, we can look outside and see it standing resolute. Know how deep the roots have grown, even if we can't see them from the surface. And seeing that, we can take heart, knowing that seasons may come and go, but the future will always bring more sun and more growth.
That's a beautiful sentiment, Rengoku. Where do you want to plant it?
I'll leave that up to you. But I found a place just through here.
Oh, wow! I didn't know there was a waterfall back here.
One day I made Shinobu-san very angry by practicing too close to her coneflowers. I dehydrated them terribly, you see, so she sent me out to find more. She refused to let me come back until I found them, and I stumbled upon this place.
It's beautiful. The moonlight is so bright here.
I figured right in the middle by the water there was perfect. If the moonbeams shine directly on it, our tree can grow tall in the heat of the unyielding sun.
I think that's a perfect place for it.
Allow me.
Oh, yeah, here. I'll hold the sapling so it's easier for you to dig the hole.
Thank you.
I've been meaning to ask. Does the type of tree chosen have any significance?
Not that I found.
Oh.
But that's why I chose an evergreen. So the spring blooms would never fade or die. Just like your fiery spirit never grows old.
Nor does yours.
It's ready now. Shall we?
Here. As we lower it in together, are we supposed to say something?
I think we just say how we want our tree to reflect our relationship. I'll start. May our tree's roots grow deep and strong, and reflect the glow of the setting sun. Knowing its worth, may it stretch its branches proud and tall, always reaching to the clouds.
May our tree harbor shelter for those in need, provide sustenance and guidance when one is lost. Like our tree, may we grow in wisdom and grace as we age, giving to one another in humble silence.
May we face the open sky without fear, withstanding the harshness of winter.
May our roots be
entangled forever.
I think that was a good blessing.
I read some couples choose to anoint it with a kiss. Not that I expect one. Whatever you're comfortable with is entirely remarkable.
What's remarkable?
Of all the delicious treats I've had today, your love is the tastiest.
The end.
That was cheesy, damn.